Hello and welcome. My name is Teresa, and today's video I am going to show you the inspiration for this card and how I went about making it. I've already put some of the items that we'll be using out here on my workstation. But before we dive in, I want to tell you that the inspiration comes from the 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. That's right, we are now at a point where I can open this catalog on screen. So, and if you open it to page 111, there you have the Hydranga Haven stamp set. Now this debuted a year or two ago. I can't recall off the top of my head the exact year, but this is a stamp set that we've sold before through Stampin' Up. And anyhow, and I wanted to use it again. I wanted to create some Mother's Day cards, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So like I normally do, I start going through the catalogs, and the first one I started with was this most recent one, and I really liked the simplicity of that card right here. And I know it says "You make me smile," but that's okay. That is okay. So anyhow, let me go ahead and close that, and we're going to walk through some of the supplies we'll be needing. I chose to use Blushing Bride, so here's the other half sheet of that paper. So we'll go ahead and get that started in just a second. The colors will be Blushing Bride, Soft Succulent. Let me move those off to the side. I have some of this gorgeous Soft Succulent ribbon. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's the open weave ribbon. That's the best thing about the Stampin' Up products. Those colors coordinate. Let me put my inspiration card over there. We are going to be using the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. So if you need that, get in touch with your demonstrator. Let me go ahead and bring my trimming tool over here. Hopefully you can see it. I believe you can. And on this other half of paper, so this started life, of course, as an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We cut it on the 11-inch side so that it measures 5.5. And then on the 8.5-inch side, I do want to score it at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. Let's get that cutting blade, oops, careful, get that cutting blade out of the way, and we'll just go ahead and we'll score it. We don't need that anymore, so let me move that off to the side. Those score lines just help you get that beautiful first fold. If you have one of these fancy schmancy boning tools, that helps to really just apply a nice, good crease to your paper. We are going to need a couple sheets of white cardstock, and if you've watched my channel, you know that I like to keep pre-cut pieces of card. I come in 1/4 inch from the overall size of the card. So this would measure 4 inches by 5 1/4. And again, I have 2 pieces here. One, we're going to go ahead and layer that on the inside. Let me grab my Stampin' Seal Plus real quick. Staying close to the edge without going over. I do like to apply Stampin' Seal Plus to all 4 sides. Some people just lay down a couple of strips. You do what you feel most comfortable with. I tend to like it on all 4 sides. That's just my preference. Now for this, I'm not going to do anything just yet. Actually, we're going to need 3 sheets of this because this is a little different. There's a full-size sheet. I know it's a little tricky. Then we do need a strip here. This measures 3/4 inch wide, and of course it is the 5 1/4, and I ran it through my embossing folder. This is the one I just told you, the Pretty Flowers. So I can move that off to the side. That's done. So again, I think I said it, but 3/4 inch by the 5 1/4. See, so it will line up perfectly with our finished card. Now, believe it or not, when I purchased the Hydranga Haven set, again, I like to encourage you, if they sell it as a bundle where you can get the dies and the stamp set, you should take advantage of that because you get an additional 10% off. And that is what this is. This is cut out. So let me go ahead and put this off to the side. We're going to use this one. Pardon the hot mess that exists within my folder. Look at that. It's just absolutely wonky. But we're going to do this. We need a great big block. This is the size E block. I believe that will fit on there. Yup. Let me grab my Memento ink and stamp this up. There's a big shock in store for you today because down here on the floor, next to the right of me is my Big Shot. Yes, I still have the Big Shot I purchased years and years and years ago. I had to save up for it. And I know there's a new one in the current catalog. It's wonderful. It works great. If you need one, I say get it. But know that we can still keep using our Big Shot. I think I have that well inked. Pushing that up. And let's just go ahead and pop that out. Now I fear that because I have one of those plastic desks, I hope I get the center. So I'm going to do a no-no by doing that. Hopefully I didn't just mess it up. I don't encourage doing this. You probably have a better surface than I do. But you gotta do and work with what you got. You gotta do what you gotta do and work with what you have. Anyhow, here we go. Wipe that off. Look at that. It's lots and lots of use. That's a good thing. Peel this guy off, and then I'm going to grab the shading parts. So that's one, and I want the one to offer the shading. Let me show you on the cover. So now we're going to use this piece and this piece, and I am going to use them separately. Pardon me if I line this up where you can't see it. How does this go? I'm not so sure that's it. Is that it? Yes. This one I find is a little harder to get. You know, just twist it around till you think you've got it right. Where you think it looks good. All right, so I'm gonna put it like that. I think that'll give me the desired effect. Put it on my stamping block. And this one I do want to use the Blushing Bride. So let's open our ink. Lay some down. I did wear a little pink ring to go with our Blushing Bride. And again, pardon me if this goes off camera. I want to get it just right. All right, well, no, I'll do this in front of you, but be nice if I don't have it lined up just perfect. See if I can, now on the card in the catalog, there's more white space that was left. Let's see what happens here. Ah, okay, so that did it. That looks even better. Again, my desk is just very, you know, it's that plastic soft table. It's a table, it's not really a desk. But that's okay. You know what? We work with what we have. All right, let me go ahead and peel that off, put that off to the side. And now I'm just going to position, I mean, I really don't have to at this point, but I'm gonna. Let's grab that, and we're going to ink this up with some soft Succulant. I really like this color. And because I tend to purchase the cardstock, the ribbon, and the ink from Stampin' Up, I love the way it coordinates. That's a big plus as far as I'm concerned. All right, this I'm gonna bring closer to me, so if it's off screen, I'm sorry. But I wanna be able to see it. That's a big no-no, you shouldn't move it around, but whew, that worked. Okay, and as promised, for the first time ever, for me, that is, I am going to bring my Big Shot up here to the table. Let's get my coordinating die, put this in place. And then there's this neat hack that's all over. I'm sure you've seen other people do it. I saw it watching a YouTube channel. That's why we search for these things, isn't it? That's why we watch more than one person, so we can find these great ideas. All right, let me get my Big Shot. Hope it doesn't shake the camera too much. I apologize if it does. These are some fairly, this is the second set of plates. I didn't want to show you the ones I've been using for years and years because one of them has a big crack in it. All right, and it's got that magnetic base. Oh, I hope I'm not shaking you too much. If I am, I'm sorry. I know, hurry it up and just stop shaking it. Oh, here's the cat. Neo, back off. And let's take our sandwich apart, put that on the floor next to me. Ta-da, there you go. I'll disassemble that off camera. I don't want to keep you all waiting, but isn't that pretty? So let's go back to our card. This, because it's so heavily embossed, I do like to use the liquid glue. This is Tombow liquid glue, as opposed to the Stampin' Seal Plus. It also will allow me to move it just a little because I really want it to line up. I want it to match the top and the bottom. That's why it's the exact same length. You know, it's 5¼ inches. So by using the glue, you do have just a second or so to move it if you need to. Let's see, I think I do need to slide that up. So that worked out perfectly, just like that. So I'm going to give that a second to dry, and we're going to get ready with some other stamps. This set does not have anything about Mother's Day, and I am making some of these for some friends who are moms. I don't get to make a Mother's Day card anymore. Those days, that's beyond. I get to just make them for other people that I know, and that's why I'm writing, I like this saying, to an incredible woman. So you can be you know, if you're like me and your mother has already passed on, it doesn't mean you still can't buy cards and be an encouragement to other folks. Like I said, we have a lot of new young mothers. I think I've said it before. We have a lot of young mothers in our office, and it's nice to give them one. Also, some of my friends, to give them encouragement, let them know. Just, you know, lift each other up. Why not? So, you know, I could make Mother's Day a real sad occasion, but I'm not going to. Had a great mom. Had lots of fun with her. I'm going to bring this down because I want to make sure I get it even. Well, hopefully it'll be even. But I want to keep celebrating that special day because I know a lot of special moms out there. So why not make something for them? And I'm a big fan. I think I've said this before, and it bears repeating. I'm a huge fan of leaving the inside of the cards blank or leaving a lot of writing space because nothing replaces the written word. Now we will need 2 other pieces from this. I am looking for this tiny little flower and the shading that goes with it. It's a hot mess. I'll have to clean that up. We're not going to cut those out. Let me knock off that dirt. This is going to be glued down kind of like that. I'll glue that in just a second, but for now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp these guys. Yep, just getting that Memento ink back out. See how quick this is? I mean, you could also fill this in with your stamping blends if you wanted to. You could certainly do that. And put one up there. Let's go ahead and clean this again. I should leave that out. I know, I hear some of you. It's almost like I can hear you talking to me. Why are you putting that away? You're just bringing it back out. You are absolutely right. I'm going to use that Blushing Bride ink one more time. And this time I need to grab a piece of scrap paper. So you can see what I'm going to do. Take a guess. That's right. I am going to ink it up, stamp it off, and then kind of try to keep it a little light. Stamp it off. You don't have to be too perfect. Thank goodness, because that's certainly not looking perfect. There we go. It's always great to keep some scrap paper. I have 2 trash cans down by my side. One is for trash and one is for paper. We recycle in our area, so I do tend to keep some right there. Okay, now this I could put some Stampin' Seal on and apply it down, but I'm actually going to use the glue, the Tombow glue again, just because I might want to maneuver it a little. So now that I've put some glue on the inside, I kind of have a feel for how much glue is coming out. I want to put a thin line along here, not too close to the edges because we don't want that glue to, you know, seep out of the sides, that's for sure. All right. If you have one of these little pincher tools, these are great. Found it at a craft store, a local craft store. Now I want to get this kind of lined up, release, push down, push a little bit more. Push a little bit more. Now I will want to apply this card with my Stampin' Seal Plus, so let me go ahead and grab that. All 4 sides. Now, because I get to do 2 cards, I like to make one ahead of time so that I don't keep you waiting. I'll try to keep the videos as quick as possible. Why do I do that? Because that's how I like to view them. Like, don't do a lot of chit chat, don't do a lot of talk. I tune in to get the instructions. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, that's great too. But I tend to try to make the type of video that I like to watch. And with this card, I couldn't decide, do I want those pretty pearls or did I want rhinestones? Well, that's the fun part of being able to do the cards over again or doing more than one. I can give a try for both types. So on this one, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the rhinestones and I'm going to put a little rhinestone or crystal. I think they're rhinestones. I think they're called rhinestones in the center, and I'm just using the smallest ones that come on these sheets. Get that up with my pick tool, slide that into place. There we go. Put that off to the side. And last but not least, you could leave it without the ribbon, and that is how it appears on page 111. I'll show it to you. See, there was no ribbon on it, and they didn't have the rhinestones or anything on it. It still looks just beautiful. I mean, it caught my attention, but I wanted to add a little bit more because I had this coordinating ribbon in the soft succulent color. So here's hoping I can get this bow made. I am trying to improve my bow making skills. Obviously, I can still work on those. Do you have trouble making these bows? If you have no problem making bows, let me know in the comments below. Just tell me, say, no, I think bows are easy. I do not find them to be easy. They're challenging for me, but that's okay. Everything shouldn't be easy, I suppose. That's gonna be a big fat one. That's all right. That'll be all right. Okay, now with some small scissors, I'm gonna cut it that way and that way, because why not? Offer a little variety. And then using a glue dot that I have here off to the side, I know one hand's doing one thing, one hand's doing another. The cat's behind me, jumping up on my chair. He's a hot mess, let me tell you what. As soon as he hears me up here talking to myself, he has to come up. Now this one I put down there, so let's just be a little different just to see what we like, just to make them just a little different each. So this one has the bow a little further down, and it has pearls. This one I put the bow up, which I'm not so sure I like. You know, it probably would be better. Don't mess it up. Maybe down here instead. Nope, I don't like that. Apparently I like it right there. But you get the gist of it. And see, that's the nice thing about those glue dots. And those have rhinestones. Let's get the trash off. Let me go ahead and set this up for you. Let me stand up here and zoom in so you can take a picture if you want to. Let me grab them up here. And there you go. Look how pretty that is. That Hydranga Haven. What a gorgeous stamp set. Anyhow, if you like this video, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. It does help us out. But either way, thank you for tuning in. And until the next time, happy stamping.